What's up, guys? This is Christian Brindle with Six Figure Medicare Agent, and today I have an awesome guest with me here today. I have someone that really, if you think about it, puts our channel to shame because he's the step up. He's the Medicare millionaire, Nick Williams. Nick, thank you for taking the time.
I'm happy to be here with you, my friend. Happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate you, being flexible with me. Having the coronavirus last week. I mean, not really, but
you should stop drinking that.
Yeah. No more Coronas for me. I'll tell you that much.
Just don't put the lime in it, okay?
Yeah.
That's what's causing the problem.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, Nick, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a really busy guy with everything you got going on. Your YouTube channel has been incredibly, I think, important in educating a lot of Medicare agents on kind of what it takes to be successful through your years of experience. Talk a little bit about, for anybody that might not be introduced to this point, to who you are, Nick. Talk about your journey. I know you've been in the industry for decades. Talk about how you became the Medicare millionaire. How did you get to today?
Well, the Medicare Millionaire, which I'm in agreement, is the premier Medicare training channel on the internet or YouTube. No, that was as a result of my becoming lethargic in the business. You get renewals built up and you become a bit lethargic. I did, and many of us do. And there was a lot of other things, as they say, Christian, life comes at you fast. And there was a lot of things, and I needed to get back to what I am at my core. And that's a hard worker. And I believe that's all that's necessary for an agent to be successful. But I had some, and simultaneously to this happening, my becoming a bit lethargic, I was also just fascinated by this internet thing that you could go and reach so many people just from your bedroom if you so desired.
Yeah.
You could just reach people. You could turn on a camera and reach people. And I was studying it for about a year or probably 2 years, just dabbling, with not making any videos or anything like that, but just kind of formulating, well, what is it that I want to do with this? And the Medicare Millionaire came upon me as a result of no other names being available.
Oh, wow.
Yes, absolutely. So I did not think Medicare Millionaire. There was 100 names. It might have been Six-Figure Medicare Agent.
Yeah.
It may have been, Medicare Gurus or Medicare Whiteboard or something something like that. But they weren't available. And so one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, Medicare Millionaire. I don't know if you've done this, but you got your GoDaddy account out and you're checking names are available, and it's Medicare Millionaire. Bam. Wow, that's available? Come on. So that name is trademarked and protected. Nobody else can use it. There are imitators, but there's only one original Medicare Millionaire. And that's a bit arrogant, isn't it? A bit cocky, I should say, but there are people that dislike that, as you and I have discussed before, and they try to, because it is a good name, and a lot of times, that matters, and so everybody's trying to get their little angle, their marketing. Their unique marketing proposition, or whatever you want to call it, and but it's helped a lot of people. And I'll say one more thing about that. I don't want to get too lengthy, which is already happening here. But
no, you're fine.
Yeah, but when I started that, all I did was made videos of me selling every day. So if you were to go back and look at those videos from the very beginning, you would see about 100 videos of me, excuse me, just getting in my car and going out and selling, and what happened that day. And it resonated with some people, and it became a business. But it wasn't a business at first. I had the business idea in the back of my mind, but on YouTube, oftentimes, depending on how you approach it and the way I approached it, you just need to create the content and then hope that people will come to it. And that's what happened. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I've been following your channel probably for the past year or so, if I had to speculate. And I just think you just make such great videos and such great content, for agents. And I have a lot of appreciation for that.
Well, I try to be honest. And a lot of times what happens is in this business, you have people that they want to, you can make a video. I can make videos that resonate with people at what they want to hear, or I can tell them really what they need to know. And, really what a salesperson needs to know. And sometimes that doesn't resonate as much from the standpoint of being desirable and getting views or getting likes or whatever it is that, or subscribers or the things that we're interested in this business, but it's things that people need to know. And so I try to be honest, and that would probably be that's probably what people say to me when they communicate with me is, hey, Nick, what I appreciate about you is that you're real. And that's what I like that. So
I think that's one of the best compliments somebody can really give you.
Yes, sure.
You're real, you're authentic. You mean what you say, and you do what you do, what you practice, what you preach. And I've just been such positive, I guess, admirer, I guess, of your channel since I started.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, my friend. Yeah. I really do. I really do.
Of course. Well, Nick, let's shift gears over to this for a second. This is a topic I was very interested to kind of ask and kind of get your thoughts about. With us entering the new decade in 2020, there's a lot of people talking about, going into 2020. There's not, it's going to be different, of course. You're not going to be able to get in front of leads or people or prospects the same way that you did maybe 2010. What are you recommending for your agents as far as getting in front of prospects into this new decade? Is your focus shifting at all? Or what? I know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have heavily promoted telemarketing in the past. I still do. It works. It does work. I just interviewed a great agent just the other day, Matt Lewag, and Matt had just last month, which was his first full month, he did 28 Medicare plans. I think there was some final expense mixed in. He has a background in final expense, so it works.
Yeah.
But I do believe that you need to be multi-dimensional in your marketing now. So we do mix in. We are now, and we are promoting this with the agents that work with us to mix in some direct mail.
Okay.
Now we'll also go. We will mix with anything. We do seminars as well. So we haven't done any here recently. We have some people that are affiliated with us down in the Atlanta area that are just crushing it with the seminars, and it's a viable business model, and they do the Turning 65 seminars. So, so our counterparts there are doing extremely well with that. So that's in our 2020 marketing plan. We have several agents we have one in Charlotte that we're bringing on just to specialize in that. I just talked to another agent to specialize in that because of their circumstances, where they are at different areas of the country, different things work. I'll give you for example. In Austin, Texas, we did telemarketing. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So because that is for Texas especially, it doesn't work because of all the government employees and because of the demographics as a whole. It doesn't work there. So you'll find areas where it does not work. But then in other areas, it's phenomenal. I have areas in one area of Georgia where the guy, I think he got telemarketing 22 leads in a day. Then he got 13 the next day, and he's banging it out. And it's just like direct mail. It doesn't work as well in different geographic areas.
Right.
So you've got to be multidimensional. And then one other thing that you need to consider with this is that you need to dictate what's happening, because if you, and again, when I say dictate what's happening, you need to be in control of this. if you have somebody else in control of this, what's going to happen is, let's say you're doing Facebook leads, which are viable as well, and we do promote that as well. If you're doing that, that can change.
Yeah.
That can change on the dime.
Second, yeah.
Yes, if the algorithm changed, I think of the algorithm as a monster.
Yeah.
You know? Beware of the algorithm, right? It's this big green monster, and it has happened in the past on social media channels where the algorithm, in whatever way you want to define it, has crushed businesses.
Yeah.
So be careful, and understand also that no matter what you do, there are potentially more and more people coming to that. So if it's something, now there are niches that you may maintain for a long period of time, but it may be that your general Facebook lead or your general direct mail piece, that it's not going to perform next year like it does this year. And that's a big deal. And going back to the telephone, you certainly have the robocallers, which I've been very vocal about. That's what has destroyed I would say destroyed. It's the cream. We used to get 10, 12 appointments every day, no matter what, almost everywhere. But with the robocallers dialing like crazy, I'm getting calls every day for student loans,
me too.
Security stuff, IRS stuff. I get some sheriff wants to come lock me up, and I'm just like, it's like, what is going on here? And that's on my cell phone, which is illegal to call anyhow. And, so that's all debatable, but you get my point.
Of course. I mean, and I go through it too. I get the same calls. I'm on one's on the do not call list, but I get every call imaginable. And I think I think there's a lot of wisdom there, because I remember about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, when Facebook was running those commercials, where they're like, when we do what we're supposed to do, the world's a little closer. Those stupid commercials, they changed their algorithm. And I heard from so many agents that, for especially insurance agents, running advertisements became much more difficult, much more different. And
yes, they can destroy a business. Yeah. They can destroy a business overnight. And there are businesses that have been destroyed. And what happens is, if you ramp up too much expenses in a certain area, so if you keep your expenses low, you're okay. But if you build a lot of expenditures around a certain lead source, if the leads go away and the expenditures are such that some of them are fixed, you have a big problem now, and it's put people out of business. So gotta be careful. And again,
definitely
be multidimensional. Don't live and die by one marketing or one lead source. Then again, if you got the goose that's laying the golden egg, you might want to ride that thing into the dirt. But it's got to be laying a golden egg. You follow me?
Right. Definitely. I think I like that a lot. It's always been my approach coming in. When we started out, we were legally, I should say, making calls and things like that, and making sure we're calling the right people, of course. But that's how we started out when we didn't have any money to market or anything. And then we added the leads later. We started trying to market later. But I've always kind of been a believer of having at least 4 to 5 lead sources, so that way you can diversify. I think there's a lot of wisdom there.
But you can just go out and bang on a door. I recently did a challenge where I just did turning 65, just knocked on the door, and I had a specific way that I did it. But I went out and sold a bunch of insurance. So I knocked on 100 doors. I knocked on 100 doors turning 65. See, it's lonely out there. There's nobody else doing that. So you can be in business here like that. You don't need all these leads. And I'll tell you something, there's always people saying, oh, I'm writing 100 deals here, and whatever. Yes, there are. That takes building an inbound marketing machine. So you can get those people that are, okay, I'll give you an example, perfect example. If you're with United Healthcare working in their call center, you typically write 40 to 50 deals a month.
Right.
That's no problem. But that's inbound activity.
Right.
So,
right. They're providing all the
there
leads.
are people, excuse me, Christian, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying they're providing all the leads, all of the flow.
Oh, it's all inbound. You're literally picking up the phone and there's somebody there. So, it's like you got calls coming in. There are people in our industry, not big companies like United Healthcare, but other companies the agencies that have built up the same thing. And we both know people that have done that. And God bless them. But if you're an agent, you can't be fooled by this, easy route to success, because there's nothing easy. And I would suggest for that agent, I'm going off on a tangent here, Christian, but I would suggest for that agent that you get down to the pure basics. And I got more to say about that. Maybe we'll cover it, but go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, I think it's great, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, you talk to a lot of people that work for, I don't know, maybe an eHealth or something like that. I don't want to name drop too much, but those people probably are writing 60, 70, 80 apps a month because they have never ending, lead flow.
As I said, United Healthcare, you're expected to write 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I get United Healthcare agents. The captive agents that worked in call centers, they don't tend to stick around long, but you'll get these if you haven't gotten them yet. I'm sure you have, but they'll call me and they'll be gloating about, and not gloating, they're sincere. I've been writing 40 to 50 deals a month, 60, 70 deals a month, eHealth, like you said, whatever. But now they want to go to become independent. And oftentimes they just disappear because they can't make the transition, because it's a totally different world. Totally different world. So
there's something to be.
It is like night and day.
Right.
And these agents think that, and when people call United Healthcare, AARP, right?
Yeah.
eHealth, that's a branded model. They have seen that, and they have a trust level, and they're calling because they want the insurance normally.
Right.
So it's not only that they're calling you. If they were calling you and skeptical, that would be one thing. But they're not calling in, they're skeptical. They're calling, and they kind of sort of just want to sign up. Yeah,
you're an order taker at that point.
Yeah, so it's a different ball game. And I would say to that agent and to any agent, it's learning how to sell. Learning how to sell is what matters. And this is where you get into, Christian, where you get into the whole issue of tell the people what they want to hear, and which is, hey, these are the greatest leads in the world, or tell them what they need to know.
Right.
What they need to know is how to sell. Who cares if the leads are any good? You know what? They may be good today, but not tomorrow. But if you know how to sell, you don't need the best leads.
Right.
You don't need them. I'll outsell somebody. They can have the leads twice as good as mine. I'll outsell them.
Yeah. I mean,
there's that cockiness again.
Nothing wrong with it, my friend. It's confidence.
But it's true. It's true. If you know how to sell, then you'll be successful, and you can. You're not going to be subject to the rhythms of the market. I'm never affected by the market and what's happening. People say, "Oh, this is happening, that's happening." I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't even matter to me, because I can just go out and sell. And I can sell like 2 deals a day, like, by getting in my car and going and selling. And if you do that, and I know you got questions, Christian. But
no.
But if you do that, think about this. So you do it the hard way, right? Get in your car and go sell it, which I strongly debate that that's the hard way. That's the easy way. Build up your base. And I've said this a million times. Get other people that see, like, if you want to recruit or build something, build up your base. And that gives you the luxury of now making decisions from a position of strength. So what you have is all these people calling around all these different companies, like like scrambling for leads and stuff, or scrambling for the best products or the best rates. And at the end of the day, they may be much better served by just focusing on some simple leads and going out and selling those leads, and then systematically building a business. So now and you can do, I got one guy that we work with from October of 2018 to today. He's written 400 Medicare plans.
That's phenomenal.
October of 2018 to today.
Wow.
Well, that was about 2 weeks ago. We were going over that. That was about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
He's got 402. If you do the math, that's a 6-figure base.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. That's right. Renewal.
He now deals from a position of strength. When he calls somebody for leads, he's not calling with what can I get? He's calling by basically interviewing you for what you have to offer.
Right.
Because he doesn't need you. He doesn't need your leads. He doesn't need your product. He doesn't need anything you have. He's a better salesman than the recruiter already. The recruiter's not in his league as far as sales. Can't tell him a thing. People are calling recruiters and asking them how to sell. Yeah. Right? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, recruiters
don't sell.
Recruiters don't sell.
Christian, except for you.
Yeah. So a couple follow-up questions, Nick.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I just to kind of rewind back to the lead thing. I agree completely. I think that, as long as you're getting in front of people, the leads don't matter. I had Cody Askins on a couple weeks ago, and he said the same thing. He said, I don't think it's so much about the lead. I think it's more about the agent. And
exactly.
There's so much truth there, and I think agents just spend so much time obsessing about, okay, these leads suck. These leads don't suck. Or maybe they were good at one point. Now they're not good. It's, if you can hand a quality producer, like your guy that just, wrote 400 in a year and a half, or yourself, or, I believe I could do this. If you give us a stack of leads, no matter they're old, they're good, they're bad, they're cheap, we can make something happen. We can squeeze something out of that.
Yes. Now, I will say that like that individual sells, he gets in his car and he goes out and sells. You can do this by phone as well. So I'm not telling you that this is the only way to do it. That's just a good way to do it, where you control more of the you control the scenario. You have yourself, your presentation, you have your props, you have your ability to wow them. When I say your presentation, your smile, your ability to communicate with them, your ability to handle rebuttals more readily. But it's not a prerequisite that you sell face-to-face.
Right, of course.
It's always an age-old dilemma. It's not a prerequisite. You mentioned like Cody Askins. He promotes selling over the phone. He's got people that are successful with him. But I bet you they know how to sell. I talk to guys that sell over the phone. We have them work with us. I got one guy in particular. He's got a golden voice. He's confident. He's powerful. He's intelligent. He has a presence on the phone. He's there. I mean, there's no gray area. I ask him about phone sales. I shut up and listen. He knows. Yeah. And but even with him, it's like it's the work ethic and he said it's hard to keep that phone on for 40 hours, that headset. So when you start out, you're going to put that headset on for 40 hours.
Yeah.
So be ready for that and embrace it,
Right.
I don't know if you need a headset anymore. I don't have a headset on now. I can hear you when I'm talking. So.
Yeah, we have speakers now.
Yes. Make it easier.
So another
we can drink while we're talking.
Yeah. It's a new world, isn't it?
Yes. Technology at its finest.
Yeah. Well,
but I'll tell you something else before I forget this, because this is the thought I have.
No, you're good. Go for it.
This thought is that if you're an agent and you're thinking about doing this, you need to you need to make this attempt. I've been reading about it's a philosophy thing. It says, if you fail to seek a greater life, you're basically killing that part of your life. So
that's deep. I like that.
If you have the opportunity and you see this opportunity, if you don't take it, you basically are killing off that part of you that seeks for a better life for yourself. So what happens to people is they don't seek this better life and they just die a little bit inside. And then, and in this day and age, this is very relevant. I'm going off on a tangent here, Christian.
No, that's great.
But it's like dying 1,000 little deaths instead of getting in your car or picking up that phone and going out and facing that monster right now. And you know what? So the way this is put, and from the philosophical perspective, is you can die once today, again, or die 1,000 deaths with certain death.
Yeah.
Because this is what hurts people, and it takes it breaks them. And then you got people sitting on their couch, sitting there watching television for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But again, it's philosophical, but it's relevant. It's
right.
like, I hate to see people that don't go after it. They see that, and again, you can fail, and that's the one death that you can die now, is that failure.
Right.
Or you can not go after it, and you can kill off that part of you that's perhaps the dream.
Yeah.
And if you keep killing off your dreams, then you are certain to die slowly but surely.
Yes. It reminds me of something I heard Grant Cardone say years ago. He said that a lot of people die when they're 30, but it's not made official till they're 80.
That's it. And here's the thing: in this day and age, we see it more and more and more.
Yes.
And I don't know if we want to go down this path, but people are single, they're all alone. They drug abuse and alcohol abuse and legal drug abuse. When I say that, prescription drugs or whatever, it's all escalating. So people, I believe you need to have this strong mission, and that mission has to take you out of all of that nonsense in your life and put you on a path for success. And again, if you fail on that mission, man, you can say, I went down fighting, baby, you know, and then you can start your next mission. And it can hurt a lot, but to just shrivel up and die is not a valid option. So there we go.
Well, I love it. I mean, that's probably some of the truest words ever spoken.
Yes.
About persevering and being successful. Every agent needs to hear that. So I love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's really what Medicare Millionaire is about. That's what we don't talk about that. Remind me not to talk about that anymore. But that's what we're doing, you know? And that's the philosophy is, hey man, you can't die. Don't die here. Get out there and fight, you know? Yes. And if whatever it takes, you got to put that metaphoric headset on, then put that metaphorical headset on and grind out those numbers, or get in your car and grind out, you know, the mileage. And but either way, you know, push forward. That's what it's all about. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest is dead. And that's, you know, so a lot of little, you know, there's a lot of metaphors and sayings and quotes and stuff, but it's real, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Well, question I had for you, you mentioned sales for a second, something that I think gets forgotten in a lot of this, that, you know, sales skills are a must to have. You know, you can have a personality, you can be the best marketer, but you need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to sell. I've heard you talk a little bit about books on your channel before in some videos that I've caught. Are there any particular sales books that have touched your life a lot?
Are there? I've read them all.
Love it.
No, but I'll tell you something. Napoleon Hill probably has the greatest book that's ever been written. because it basically encompasses most of this stuff.
Yeah.
That we're talking about.
Think and grow.
I'm sorry?
Think and grow, right?
Think and grow rich.
Yes.
And everybody should know that.
Yes.
Right. I've read them all. I've read the Ogmandino. I think the greatest salesman in the world. I think people should have read books such as that. All of them. Zig Ziglar. If you want to know how to sell pots and pans.
Ice to an Eskimo.
Most of these people have a one theme, and Napoleon Hill's theme, and you've already said it in this interview that we're doing here, is perseverance. I believe you said that word previously.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yes, that's what that is his message. Perseverance. Mm-hmm. You have the Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's one theme there. And that theme is show interest in others. Mm-hmm. So, and if so now some people like Tony Robbins is good, man, that's dynamic. Tony Robbins was already off the ground when I started.
Yeah.
And he had put out this book. I think it may have been Awaken the Giant Within or whatever. And he was already bankrupt and everything, Mm-hmm. But that guy has studied how to help people his whole life. He's not some guy that is trying to hustle a real estate course.
Yeah.
So he's hustling his thing, which is how to improve your life. He's hustling it, but he's studying it and he's giving good information. So I would say Tony Robbins is good. I one time had I think it was a 6 CD set, back when CDs were a thing, and I had a 6 CD changer in my Infinity G35, man. And I had that was in the trunk. I'm pretty sure. But anyhow, this was at a time in my life where things were changing. I got that Get the Edge. Okay. Now he revised it, which it wasn't as good when he revised it. Everybody's always got to make things better, but it wasn't as good. But the original Get the Edge, I would put that, I would just let it play through. And that was it played through always. I didn't listen to the radio. Never. I listened to Tony Robbins. And there are themes in there that I just was incorporating in my life at that time. And everything got better for me. Everything got better at that moment in time because it was a pivotal time period. And so, and like I can remember some of the concepts in it. It's like, if you got big problems, that's probably because, now hopefully you're not getting arrested or something stupid.
Yeah.
But if you got big problems, let's say he used the accounting example. Like if all of a sudden you got a tax problem, it's probably because you're making more money. So embrace the problems and stuff. And I think at that time I was doing some I was doing real estate investing, and it was pivotal, a pivotal time. It was around 2006 through 9. And I didn't listen to that thing for 3 years, but when I made the change, a fundamental change, I was listening to that set. But it was important, there were big problems. How am I going to transition and maintain the level of income I have, because I see it's going away here. Well, I have been a person that I've proven I can perform at a very, very high level. So, how do I do it again? Mm-hmm. How do I transition to something else? Yeah, you could say, although the sky is falling, but at the same time, you could say, this is a big challenge. And, so anyhow,
this is an opportunity.
Well, it took me years to get back.
Yeah.
But I did. It took me years to get back to, it took a few years. So, but again, it's having the right mindset. So there you go. Books, tapes, CDs, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, all those guys.
Those are some of my favorites. I have an Ogmandino quote on my office wall over here. And same quote in my house.
What is it?
It's failure will never overtake me as long as my determination to succeed is strong enough.
Yeah.
Classic.
And that's Napoleon Hill, right?
No, that's Augmentino.
I know, but that's what Napoleon Hill is saying as well.
Yeah, same message. Same
message. And because in that book, he mentions his son, and his son was deaf.
Yeah.
He was born no ears, and he became, as I understand it, as the legend is told, he became successful selling hearing aids.
Amazing. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's perseverance.
Yeah.
And again, you go out there, you get in your car and you go beat on those doors. You don't even need a lead. And you could be better, more successful, perhaps happier than the person that's in the inbound call center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I believe that firmly, that you could do that. You could knock on turning 65's door. I have a husband-wife couple that we work with in Oklahoma City. They built their business on that.
Yeah.
They went out and knocked on doors of people turning 65 and built a business. They're more successful than most of the people that are like chasing leads. I need those Facebook leads.
Yeah.
But I make a joke there because a lot of people are looking for this easy way.
Yeah, quick fix.
And maybe if you throw enough money at it, it'll get easier.
Yeah, but not always. Not always. So another question I had for Nick, another follow-up question to kind of what we were just talking about. You talked about in-person sales and you talked about phone sales a little bit. I'm like you. I actually think it's easier to start out face-to-face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's how I started. Now today I do a mixture. I do both. But for a new agent coming in, so would you say that if an agent started out doing phone sales, that could potentially be easier for them than face-to-face? Is there what's a good?
No. I firmly believe the opposite. I believe that getting in your car and going out and seeing the people is the easiest way. Now, there are falsehoods that exist about this. There's the falsehood of, and there are mantras that the people that promote telephone sales will preach, and they shouldn't do this. And they say, oh, there's wasted time driving. Let me tell you something. Anybody, again, let's rule out that inbound machine that's operating at a high pace. Okay, because that's not reality for most people. And if you're there, you probably don't own your business and you're probably not getting full commissions and you'll walk away one day with nothing.
Right.
So let's rule that out of this equation. Okay. But going out and seeing people you're not wasting windshield time, as they refer to it. It's not wasted time. You're going from one house to the next house. In between, you're making some phone calls. If you're on the phone, you're going to have dead time where you can't get people, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I go out, I'm hitting a bunch of people in a cluster. Now, if you're in certain geographic areas, it doesn't work as well. If you're in Los Angeles, you might not be able to do it, right?
Right.
So, I mean, circumstances are what they are. But that's a lie. And it's a lie that people tell. I believe that they don't know they're lying. I believe that they believe it. But they're wrong. They're wrong, and it's hurtful to agents. It's the same kind of wrong as those. I got to temper myself. It's the same kind of wrong as the people that say don't sell Medicare Advantage. Screw you. How's that? because that's a viable product. It's got over 35% market share. There's a young salesman that's out there trying to feed his or her family, and you are telling them that they should not be selling a perfectly viable product because you personally don't like it.
Yeah.
So I say that strongly. I edit out my strong words there, my strong terminology for that person. But they're out there. They're out there.
They are. They're absolutely out there.
So, but the fact is that people will say things, agents will follow suit. I can't tell you. Now, you know this, Christian, because you're recruiting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you know this, that people are calling you, and what are they saying about Medicare Advantage? Somewhat frequently, from the reference of, I could get in trouble selling this.
Over the phone.
I'm sorry?
Well,
No, I'm saying, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have people saying that, well, it's kind of sort of dangerous selling Medicare Advantage?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, we hear more about that, about selling it by phone.
Yes.
We hear about people getting in trouble, but
Exactly. And that's a falsehood as well.
Yes.
Right? And
Absolutely.
that's where people are saying, don't do that, you'll get in trouble. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to tell people that that getting in your car and selling is not as effective as selling over the phone. It's irresponsible to say, don't sell over the phone, right?
Of course.
I've probably been guilty of that in the past, like a couple years back. But back then, it was so easy to get to the telemarketing leads. Right. It was like they would come in, they would flood in. You just got right business on at your level of productivity. You could just write business easily. Mm-hmm. So for an agent, you should not be afraid to sell, get in the car and sell. When you start, you got your supplies, you've got props, you got your Medicare and You book, you can shake their hand, you can look them in the eye, you can smile, you pet their dog, you talk about stuff. You can't compare that with selling over the phone. Over the phone, no matter how much you think you're buddy, they will drop you in a heartbeat.
Yes.
In those circumstances. They don't care about you. You're some guy over the phone.
Yeah.
Right. And they just don't care about you so much. I have people that care about me. I met with the lady yesterday. I mean, she's I've been working with her for nearly a decade. I worked with her husband. He has passed. And we're very close, and you're just not getting that on the phone. I have about $250,000 in annuities from her. She's got a manufactured home that has an addition on the back and an addition on the front, right? But they have money. I've made lots of money and I've been good to them, and it's all been this kind of synergistic thing. And I have lots and lots of clients like that. So never believe that selling in your car is bad.
Yeah.
And never believe people that tell you such things. And if they do say that, you probably want to tune them out.
So, Nick, a follow-up question to that.
Yes.
And
I'll try to keep the answer shorter this time. How's that?
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's great. You're providing tons of value, so I appreciate it.
Yes.
But about, people saying you shouldn't sell Medicare Advantage or you shouldn't sell Medicare by phone or what, both of us have heard it more than we'd probably like to admit. Mm-hmm. I know why I think people say that, but why do you think people paint that narrative? What's in it for them, do you think?
I think that they're in a paradigm where either one, they're a liar because they're telling people something that's not true. I don't know anybody, I can't tell you anybody that I know in the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, unless they've violated the law, that have had their license pulled. I don't know anybody. And they always say, well, some guy down in Florida,
What was he doing? What was he doing wrong?
Guy, it's a lie. So that's a lie. So now it may not be that they're lying. It may be that in their paradigm, that's what they truly believe. Mm-hmm. So, we live in this paradigm, that what we perhaps believe, the knowledge base that we have leads us to certain decisions. And maybe they really believe that. Maybe they truly believe it. But it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. Because again, how many people lost their license last year selling Medicare Advantage?
None. Zero.
Exactly. Oh. There's no police out there. No Medicare Advantage police out there. If there's a secret shopper, who cares? But I haven't seen the secret shopper. I think secret shoppers go to seminars.
Yes.
But it's becoming less and less frequent. You hear of these stories of secret shoppers. I think what has happened is certainly the government has embraced Medicare Advantage. Now I'm all about Medicare supplements, and we sell them. We're happy. We love Medicare supplements. But as far as Medicare Advantage, since that's the topic of conversation, the government has apparently, as we've seen over the last handful of years, embraced this more and more and more. We've seen market share increase steadily over the last handful of years for Medicare Advantage. We've seen the restrictions decrease. I've heard less and less stories of secret shoppers and stuff like that. Again, I think you get that more in the seminars.
I agree. Yes. I agree completely.
So again, they're selling something. Let's say somebody's selling leads to sell over the phone. Okay, maybe Medicare supplement leads, qualified.
Okay.
So they sell Medicare supplement leads. They might be just a dishonest person, and they may say, well, Medicare Advantage is no good.
Yeah.
Selling Medicare supplement leads, right?
Yeah. They have an agenda.
So that, I know that there's people that do that. There's people that do that.
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah, but I mean, I think those people are found out. I think because I don't think you can. Well, no, maybe not. Because I know some have been around for a long time that have a false kind of presentation and consistently maintain that false presentation, even though I know they know it's wrong.
Right.
I know it because they're not stupid people. I know they're not living in a paradigm. I've had conversations with some of these people, and they continue doing what they're doing because they have a product that they're selling. So this is an area where it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't present this like this, and maybe we shouldn't say, that maybe we shouldn't put emphasis on these type of things. But at the same time, agents deserve to have the best opportunity for success. So they deserve to know this. They deserve to understand that the games that are played in the industry, and there's a lot of games that are played, but again, so I'll leave it right there. Okay.
Well, I think I think there's a lot of truth there, and I think I think what it boils down to put it simply, in my opinion, I'm sure you agree with this, Nick. I think that for an agent to be successful, but not just to be successful, but to bring value to their clients, they need to have a balanced portfolio that they can offer their clients. Be able to offer them their different choices. And if you're just skewing one side or the other, they're not doing that. They're just showing them a skewed selection.
And again, with Medicare Advantage at 35% market share, I believe it's over that, correct?
I'm not sure of the specific numbers, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's over.
I believe it's over 35%.
Yeah.
Well, certainly, okay, let's just say I'm wrong.
At least 35%.
Let's say I'm wrong, but I know in geographic areas where it has prevalence, it's certainly over 35%. So certainly. I can stand corrected there. Somebody leave a comment and say how stupid I am if I'm wrong. How's that? Leave a comment down below in the notes.
Yeah. That's what we
and like and subscribe to Christian Brindle's YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you, Nick. Thank you. One last question I got for you. I know you're busy, and then we'll wrap this up. So new agents coming in. This is a question that I asked Cody and I asked Justin last time I talked to him, and I'm interested to kind of get your perspective on it. Do you think it's a good idea for agents to come right in and specialize in Medicare if they're going to sell Medicare, or do you think it's better for agents to come right in and try to learn how to do life as well, annuities, do a multitude of products, or is it?
Okay, I got an answer for you. An agent, this is your profession. You should be able to sell, I believe in a 4-product progression: Medicare, final expense, indemnity, and annuities. Okay? And I've been ridiculed for saying this before. I remember some guy said, just kind of sort of attacked me because I said, this is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. You can do this. There's 4 products, but let's just say that you focus on Medicare. You got to do final expense.
They go hand in hand. Yeah.
Yes, because it's such an easy transition. And I'm going to speak primarily face-to-face, because now you could do this over the phone as well by putting package deals together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily the phones expert, so I don't know, Christian, if that's your forte, but I do know that people put the package deals together. I know Justin Brock, who you've mentioned several times in this interview, he has the package concept, package A, B, or C, or bronze, silver, gold, or whatever it is. And that's a great idea. One, you get this, just your Medicare supplement. Two, you get the cancer with it. And three, you get the life with it and the cancer. I don't know what he does, but I remember something like that, right?
It's about that. It's about that. Yeah.
So that's, yes, of course you should go out, and day one, you should, okay, it's enough to learn the Medicare alone coming out of the gate. Okay. It's a handful. That final expense is baby food. I have a video out, and it's I think it's got thousands of views. My videos don't get a lot of views because I don't like promote them. I put them out like just what I want to put out. So I'm not putting out like get rich today, get rich quick. Yeah. So, but anyhow, I have this one that says selling Medicare is baby food easy. Because it is.
Yeah. That's a great title.
The simplicity of it should overcome the complexity of the product. The simplicity of it is that the people need it and the people want it. And if they're turning 65, they got to have it now. I mean, what more do you want? This is baby food. I tell you what, Christian, I don't know what else you've sold in this industry, and I don't know how knowledgeable you are across the spectrum, but try selling not final expense, because that's baby food easy as well. We're doing nothing, okay? We're doing simple stuff. Try selling whole life insurance. Try selling mom and pop as a financial planner selling whole life insurance. And I say financial planner because a lot of regular life insurance agents label themselves as kind of like some sort of financial planner or something like that. Right. That's tough. You're going in there, you got spreadsheets, you're talking about interest rates, not so much, with fixed products. When I say or whole life or universal life, but if you're in the variable life mode, you're talking, man, it's complex. It's very complex. You got to sell something to somebody that does not want it, right? They don't want to buy this.
And they probably don't understand it.
Oh, it's very complex. I did it for years. That's how I started in this business. I would go out, I'd have illustrations. We'd go into home, we'd have a term spreadsheet, which was simply 20 years at X amount of dollars. But we'd say, but if you live, which we hope you do, wouldn't it be nice to have something that paid you back? And then we would go into the whole life spreadsheet, and we would talk about the loans, and they had zero cost loans. We'd talk about dividends, paid up additions, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, people didn't want that life insurance. So let's go back full circle here. That's what we're doing. Medicare, we don't even need to pick up a check if it's Medicare Advantage.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Come on. Yeah, no premium. Or if it is a premium.
And if it's a Medicare supplement, these people are turning 65. They're going to do it because that's what you do. That's what you do. Now, if they don't do it with you, it's because you're weak as a salesperson, and that's what you have to fix. But if you get out there, so we'll back up. If you go see the people, you'll get the sales, unless you can't sell, and then you can die that death, right? So now we'll die that death and figure that out and figure out how to sell. Because if you go out and see 5, 6, 7, 8 people in a day and you don't sell anything, well, and let's put that multiple days, back to back days.
For a week, let's say.
If that trend continues, well, now the answer is you can't sell. Now that's what you have to fix, is that you can't sell. But that's okay, because you can fix that. But you can't, but you can't fix not trying to sell. You can't fix that. Right. And that's where people end up. And I'm not going to go down that road again. But so Medicare supplement, Medicare Advantage, you got to be ready to sell those. That's a lot to learn. Final expense is simple. If you die, we're going to pay you $10,000. The average cost of a funeral is what, like $7,000, $8,000, something like that. I don't even need to know the exact number. And this is going to cover that. So we won't have to worry about that anymore. And maybe we'll throw in the cancer.
Yeah, cancer policy.
Maybe not. I don't sell cancer insurance. I've sold 2 of them in my life. I do a lot of the hospital indemnity. So, right. But it's like, hey, you got this room and board rate. It's $350 a day for 5 days. It's about $1,750, something like that. Plus, it's usually preceded by a hospital ride. That's $200 by an ambulance ride. Excuse me, because that's normally when you're old and you go in the hospital for a week. You've been rushed there.
Right.
And now you're at about $2,000. Do you have that much money in the bank? No. Okay, that's a problem. We'll fix that. So a little plan here costs $35, $45. We'll fix that. Put that on your Medicare Advantage. So it's not hard. This stuff is simple. It's baby food. And if you can get over this big hairball that you've created in your brain that tells you it's complex and it's hard and it's so many moving parts and all that stuff, man, I got 2 agents that started in January, and between the 2 of them, they wrote 58 deals last month. Okay. 2 agents, one wrote 30, one wrote 28 just last month. Their first month in the business.
That's amazing.
And, well, wait a minute. I stayed corrected. One sold final expense. One sold final expense, and he's good at it. But because they just went out and did it. They just went out and did it. But we sat, we trained, we went through it, we did the whiteboard, we did everything. And then they called me, they were in the houses like, what about this? What about that? They're in houses saying, the person has a plan J. I'm like, a plan J?
That's
how old is the person? They're like 90 years old or something. Yeah. I was a plan J, it's like,
you don't run into that every day.
Yes, exactly. But so they do it. You can too, as an agent, you can do it too. And I'm not speaking to you, Christian. I'm speaking to people out there watching the YouTube. So I was talking to some old guy who refers to it. I can't remember where I heard it from. He's like, well, I was watching the YouTube.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's real important though. And it's important that people don't, that they're not intimidated, with this. So answered that question, I think.
Well, I agree. And I think, that was very well put. And, I think that, I think when people kind of simplify things and take the complexity out of it, I think it really does simplify things for agents. I think for most agents, it's not so much the products that make it hard for them. I think it's just getting out of their own way,
Yes, it's what's in between their ears.
Perseverance, right?
Yeah. So, and as I'm saying this, it's like I'm very passionate about it. I feel like I'm yelling at the camera. Because I want these agents to be successful, and it's
Absolutely.
Like, come on, you can do this. You can do it, and it's not that hard. There's a curve, and you'll go out there, accept this, okay? Accept this. You're going to get a spanking for a couple weeks. You're just going to get embarrassed. You're going to go in houses. You're going to go down rabbit holes and stand there. You're going to end up with a dumb look on your face because you're not going to know what you're talking about.
Right.
Right. And then you have to back out. You have to retreat because you can't sell something when you don't know what you're doing. But you will have learned your lesson. So that'll happen a few times. But, maybe you'll have somebody you can call. Maybe or be on the phone, that headset thing, and there's somebody in the other room or whatever that can help you. But there's nothing wrong with that. So what? But go out there, take your lumps, get smacked around a little bit and it's only a couple weeks, and usually after a couple weeks, but enthusiasm will carry you and hard work will get you the sales. So only if you have that right mentality, Well,
I agree. Nick, where can people find you? If an agent's watching this and the best
place is on the YouTube.
The YouTube. Well, everybody, I'll leave a link down to Nick's YouTube channel.
It's MedicareMillionaire.com. Well, that's the website. We had a program, and we stopped the program on the website because we have too many people in it now. So every time I do a program, it fills up, and that's it. I have to stop it. So we have two different websites, and I can't even tell you the other one because that's a separate program, but we had to stop that too because we can only manage so much. And so we've stopped the program that's on our website. Medicare Millionaire YouTube channel is really the primary way. And if you go there, there's hundreds of videos. I mean, I know I have I've taken a bunch down, but I know I have well over 300, maybe 350 videos, but some of them, like, they're playlists. And it's like, here's the presentation. But here's one additional thing I'll leave you with. Maybe perhaps not, but one thing I'll tell you is that the videos that I have, like I have a 10-part presentation, Nick's presentation. You'd think people would tear that up, right?
Yeah.
I tell it in detail how I go in the house and sell, because I do it. I'll still go in. I want to go out like next week and sell a bunch of insurance because I want to. But having said that, you would think people would watch this 10-part video, 10 videos, a 10 video playlist. How this is my presentation. Here's what I say when I knock on the door. Here's what I say when I cross the threshold. Here's what I say when I sit down, plop down in the chair. Here's how I ask questions. Here's how I transition to final expense. Here's, everything. And I tell people, but people don't want to watch that. You know what they want to watch, Christian? They want to watch, hey, these are the best leads in the world.
Yeah.
Here's how to get free leads.
Top 5 lead companies. And
hey, look. 7 secrets to getting free leads.
Yeah. Clickbait titles.
It's instinctive in people looking for an easier, softer way, Right. But there's not.
Right.
So die that death.
Yeah.
Go out and just throw yourself on the sword and then figure out where you're at and then fix that. And then you'll be okay.
Well, I think a great theme of this video is there's no substitute for hard work.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I agree completely.
And the other theme is avoid death.
Yeah. Avoid death.
People are going to be like, that was a morbid video.
Yeah. Well,
what the hell is that guy talking about?
Well, Nick, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing all the value. It was great. It really was. It was fantastic.
Hey, what's your YouTube channel called again?
6-Figure Medicare Agent.
Yeah. That's one of the things people are watching this. Some of them, aren't subscribed, but they should subscribe to the channel because you have a bunch of people that aren't subscribed. But just go ahead and subscribe, and then click that bell.
Thank you, Nick, and make sure you subscribe to Medicare Millionaire too.
Yeah, man.
In the description, so you don't want to miss it out. Nick's got one of the best YouTube channels for Medicare sales I've ever seen.
I have one of the best YouTube channels, period.
Agreed. I'll give you that. Well, Nick, again, thank you for the time. I can't thank you enough I know how busy you are, and this was great. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
It was fun. See ya.
All right.